really fast that has been deeply grieving my heart. I want to talk about the fact that it is actually a personal attack, and it is a form of serious disrespect. It's a serious it's very painful. It affects a lot of females out there. Is this forced reassigning genders conversation? The reason that I am coming on here is because I personally will never ever hold to like agreeing with people over something that I know is not the truth about how they were created and how God designed them. But the thing is, like, I'm not a bigot. I'm just someone who cannot agree with something that is actually like impossibly like it's scientifically not real. It's not valid in any other way. Like, you can't change who you are just by cosmetically or whatever carving yourself up. You can't change who you are just by taking hormones. You can't change who you are. Like, who you are isn't just like the way you feel. We are not our feelings. And that's like the biggest lie that's going on. But right now, one thing that is true is that there is a really intentional attack against females specifically, genetic, like God basically, like women that are genetic women, like they have the chromosomes of X and Y. They're female, and they were born that way, and they actually have, like, there's been something that has been being stolen from females, and there's like this suppression, and this is something that I think, like, it grieves me every time that there seems to be like another power grab to take something away. Like, I, as a female, have a right to speak out about how that this is actually affecting me. Identity isn't something that you can presume. It's not something that you can wear as a costume. It's not something that you can take. Identity is something that was created in you from the beginning, and it has more to do with like just who you feel you are in a sexual context. But being a female or a male is still something that, like, you can alter yourself, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change who you are. But I feel like the thing that is really messed up is that there's such a strong power grab to take from females. I noticed that the people that consider themselves males that are females, the people that are trans that consider themselves a male, they're not out there trying to redefine men. They're not taking anything away from men. They're not going into men's sports. They're not trying to dominate and take over there. They're not trying to go into men's bathrooms. They're not trying to position themselves in a way where they get to say, like, okay, this is no longer like the most attractive man of the year is still a dude with a penis and testicles. And it wasn't like one that was created for him or her. It's not, there's the man of the year award is still someone that was genetically born a male. The pageantry and all the things that have been infiltrated by guys into women's stuff is enough by itself. But when men start telling us, men, and I mean that, transgender, male to female, is a man. And when they try to say to women who were born in a woman's body and have experienced the way that it is to be a female is not an easy life. There's not things that are nice about it. There's things that we literally have to kind of deal with for our entire life. And part of that is being treated like you're a second-class citizen in certain situations. Like, we are weaker, and like there are things that are not honorable. And I don't actually support feminism, but what I do like what I can affirm is that it isn't the easiest world. There is a boys club out there, and there are special things that are made for dudes and men. And like now there's dudes trying to come into our area and tell us, you are a birthing person, you are a bleeder, you are a chest feeder. And they're taking it into like medical levels and like infiltrating the like doctor's offices and medical facilities and telling women, you don't get to say that you have a right to your gym, like to your gym where women are the only ones that are supposed to be in there. I can call myself a woman, and even though I have berries and sticks, I can come in there. No, it's not okay. It is not acceptable for us to be told who we are and it to come down to how we function. Someone who has never experienced the pain of a menstrual cycle, someone who has never experienced what it's like to be literally made fun of for being a female, someone who hasn't experienced the process of like kind of like the dysphoria that women deal with, and like that competition that is experienced by every female because of what society says about how we are supposed to look and the way that we're rated for our bodies. Someone who has not experienced that, someone who has not had the issue of being raised in a society where your opinion is a little less valuable because you are a female, is going to come into our arena and tell us, move over and just accept who we say that you are. I'm not having it anymore. I don't care about the fact that you want something. You will never be a female. You will never be a woman. A woman is not a feeling and an expression, and neither is a man. It's a created existence that was designed by God. But just because you hormonally mess with yourself, and just because you surgically do, and just because you transition to something, you are not a female. And you are literally oppressing women by your social oppression. Go have your own category. You can be a dude that wants to be a woman. Like, you can say, I feel like something, but you aren't. Go be your transitional self, but you're not transitioning to being a woman. You're not. And you are not allowed to tell us who we are. And you're not allowed to call us cis. And you're not allowed to tell us that we are top feeders. We are mothers. We're not birthing persons. We are women that have the capacity to feed our children. That is not a top feeder. That is a special thing that you will never be. We're not bleeders. It's called menstruation. And you won't have that experience because God did not create it for you. If you cut off your testicles, I'm sorry that you cut off a part of what you were created for, but you are not created to be a woman. And it is very hurtful. It is oppression. And it's not okay to create more oppression, to consider yourself so oppressed that you're attacking another group. Women have had a lot that we've had to fight for. And you're coming in and taking from us. Do you want to know why the ones that are women turning to men aren't doing what you guys are doing? Is because we already know how it feels to feel oppressed. And we're not trying to go out there and do something to men. It's not okay. I'm not okay with our identity being relegated to to basically what we can do with the function of our body. You do not live in the same category as us, and you will not. And you don't get to define us, and you don't get to say what we are going to be termed so that you can feel comfortable. Who cares about just your comfortability? How about the fact that you're causing the majority of the population to feel that way? I have to say something. people try to say that they just want to be a female. If you actually valued something, you would treat it special and you would like value it, but there's so much disrespect towards females. I personally believe that transgender male to female, that those guys actually despise women. They really have no respect for us. They are disrespectful. Disrespectful. They actually don't care about females. They want to masquerade like they're like us, but they don't care about females. They actually despise us. Despise us enough to get into sports and beat the crap out of women. Despise us enough to not care about how the fact is that them coming in as something that they were created to be as a man is actually a form of discomfort when we're in our locker rooms. Despise us enough to say that we don't get to have access to categories that were designed for us anymore, that we can move over, and that they can dominate because they can have influence in the media. But the thing is, it's disrespectful and it's dishonoring and it is actually unacceptable. And women are tired of it. The real women are tired of it. I'm not trying to be hateful, but the thing is, what is being done towards us is hateful. It's despising. It's disgusting. It's not okay. It's not okay to come in and subjectify a whole people group to your ideology and to force us to your subjection, and then to tell us that we're bigots for not complying is bull. It's not okay. And I, for one, am just done. I'm done with this happening. Like, I want people that are trans to actually have a quality of life, and I want them to actually realize what they're doing to themselves because they're sterilizing themselves. And they're actually believing things about themselves that are just not true. I actually feel really bad for people that are going through that. People that are truly having gender dysphoria, I feel very, very bad for them. But I also have a very serious problem with the way that it is completely coming in and attacking women. And attacking our space so much that we're literally like supposed to bend over and shut up. No, that's not happening. We've already had enough. It's taken a lot for women to have a space where we feel confident to speak for ourselves. And you would never know what that feels like, and you've never experienced it to the way that we have. You may have experienced your version of your own pain, but you're damaging spaces that have had a lot of work to just become strong enough to stand up. And I don't think that that's acceptable at all. It is dishonoring. It is it's so wrong. I want breakthrough for people that are trans. I want them to come into who they were created to be. I want them to not have the pain that they're walking through and the confusion. I want them to know who they were designed to be by God, and I want them to actually find the love and the acceptance and the peace that comes with a relationship with God, and the breakthrough that comes with that, and to walk into freedom from all of the things that are so oppressive and so destructive. But I don't accept, and I will not accept that kind of life. I will not accept that kind of suppression and oppression. I will not. It's not okay.